Good morning, Side by Side Trail Mafia. So today is day 5, I believe, on the roll cage, maybe day 6. Getting too many at this point. So today I'm going to be tackling that mess and that mess. I'm sure you see the nice seat and harnesses and stuff. I gotta get those pulled out because today is auxiliary battery wiring. I'm gonna put 60 amp breaker switch in, as well as remove all the old wiring and get ready to set it up to run the new switch panel, and also refine all the wiring and put an actual harness, auxiliary harness in this, because I don't have one right now and it sucks. Because I can hide all that under the panel and that's fine, but I know it's there and it's bothering the living crap out of me. So let's look at what we got. So we're gonna have pods down here on each side. We have a 41-inch light bar. We have my radio right here. Windshield washer. Have not decided what I'm doing with that, but I may be hooking up a windshield nozzle on the hood here. 2 windshield nozzles spread in the windshield so that it's easier for me to clean on the trail, because I'm not going to run a windshield wiper. Inside I have a CB. I got rock lights, rear lights, LED light bar. My winch is in there, it's gonna stay there. The 12 volt power is actually the main kill for the whole system. And then the windshield wiper. So the windshield wiper will stay there. The light bar is gonna go to the pod. The rear lights will go to the pod. And actually, I may leave them how they are, and remove the rear lights and put them on the pod, because I have a USB switch that's going to go in there and be powered off of that. So the old system is staying in. I'm going to just clean it up a lot, and the new system is going to be going in over top of it. There's going to be a lot of cleaning up of wiring. Going to be rewiring everything. I have a ton of wire to do. So on top of all that, I have the camera system right here. I have T-taps for this because I have a roll bar light that's going to be going in too, interior light. It's just going to tee off the factory lights that I already have here. Cameras will be there. I got rear whips, and also going to have rear lights somewhere. I haven't decided yet. I kind of like to have them right here on each side. And I already had a Deutsch connector set up for those lights. They're already wired for it and everything. I may stick to that and move these down here and clean it up a lot. So let's go over that. Rear lights, whips, cameras, CB, radio, windshield wiper, regular lights, rear lights, rock lights, and pods. And then I actually got today my new speakers for this, because I ended up breaking my other ones by accident. I ended up going with a set of Rockvilles I found on Amazon. I wanted something a little bit better than what I had anyway, and these speakers just have good reviews. These were actually returns for Amazon, but wasn't really happy about having a white. But it is what it is. I'm fine with white. They're going to be up above my head. I'm not going to see them all the time. So I have these set up here. They'll be going in after I make the new pod mounts, which I have in there. And then over here is my complete wiring setup. So I got lugs and cables right there from the auto parts. This is one of the kits that I was telling you about. This actually has 2 USB 12s, and it's going to pick up my auxiliary power, as I want to be able to watch it on the gauge, so I know what I have. Ton of connectors. These are just female connectors with shrink fitting on them. Ring terminals, so I can attach all this to a fuse box. Factory wiring harness tape, That's the cloth tape, the good stuff. Let's go in here. More battery cables. I have a ton of battery cables for this I gotta run. There's a 60 amp breaker for the auxiliary batteries. I gotta find somewhere to mount this as close as I can to the battery because I want to protect it as close to the batteries as I can. I don't want to burn it down. And then in here, in this giant box, I got 700 feet of wiring. This is 14 gauge wire. And it's all different colors. And I wanted all different colors because I don't want to just do red and black. I want to be able to do a actual wire harness and do different things. So all of that's going to be going in today. All that's going to be ripped out today, and we'll pick up from there. Got a lot of heat shrink to do. Got a lot of butt connectors. The Deutsch plugs are actually right here. I got a set of Deutsch plugs, male and female, so I can do both ends, and everything's going to be done at that point. Those speakers are still going on the rear as they were. The heated seats got to be wired up too. I forgot about that. And then I got this wonderful wire. That'll be the radio episode though. This wire goes in for the radio speakers. And then there's another battery cable kit. I bought a bunch of battery cable. Didn't want to run out. And then in here, yep, that's the kit I was looking for. So in here, I got more cables because these are going to be my parallel cables probably. I actually have a True System, can't remember who makes this exactly. It's on Amazon, it's about 85 bucks. This is the lithium series because I am running 2 lithium for my auxiliaries. This gets wired in between the battery, the main battery, and that. I got some more stuff in there, just random cables and stuff like that. So I think the first thing I'm going to work on is getting the battery disconnected and getting these set up and finding a good place to put that kill switch for these batteries, and then trying to find the best place that's accessible to put this new fuse box for my switch pod. Because here's the switch pod. I don't know if I actually showed you this in a previous episode or not, but switch pod with all my other stuff. So yeah, they even got wiring in there too, but I'm gonna not run that wiring. I'm gonna run the 60 amp breaker instead. This is actually meant, this is a 60 amp fuse here. This actually sends me a couple extra 60 amp. You can see it right there. So yeah, got a lot to do, and we're gonna get started on it. So I'll be back shortly when I get this stuff organized and start pulling out all the wiring. Alright, so we're gonna get a little bit of battery tech because I'm gonna actually get these set up to go in. So you can see I already put these leads on. They're just hand tight. Not really going crazy on these. So I'm just going to show you an example of this. So I have my multimeter right here. Multimeter is a very good tool, and especially whenever you're checking all your electrical. It's nice to be able to find how much power you have and where. So each one I should have right around 13 volts. Hold on a second. It's hard to do with one hand. So okay, so 13.6, okay, 06, not a big deal. Go over to this one, you're going to lead 13.06, okay. So you have 2 ways of wiring the battery. You have wiring them up in series and wiring them up in parallel. I'm going to run these in series because I want to keep 12 volts. I don't want to do 24 volts. Running them in series is literally doubling or adding the charge capacity of one battery to another. So these are 500 amp batteries. So in reality, this is a 1000 watt battery bank, or 1000 amps, sorry. So at 1000 amps, it should have plenty of power to do everything I'm looking to do. Now, if I would take the positive to the negative and the negative to the positive, that is called wiring them in parallel. Parallel, it's pretty much taking the positive and negative and switching them on the next battery. Now you've doubled the voltage while keeping the same amperage. So at 12 volts and 12 volts, you get 24 volts, but you're still keeping the 500 amps. I don't need 24 volts, I need 12 volts. So I'm gonna run them in series, and when doing that, I will have 12 volts, 1000 amps. So I was just wiring this up outside of the vehicle to make sure that the leads were long enough to do what I wanted to do. I was also double checking that I didn't have any drops across them, because there's a chance that one of these may be deader than the other, and you want to try to keep them as even as possible. So these are going to get wired in, and they'll be, let me see if I can get this on. Let me put you guys in the stand real quick. Let me see if I can do that. Sorry, I'm sitting on the floor because I was checking these batteries out, and it was just the easiest place to do it. So whenever you're wiring in series, you want to do negative to negative, positive to positive. If you're wiring in parallel, you want to be positive to negative, negative to positive. So these leads came with my lithium charge controller kit, second dual battery kit. So with that being said, I'm now going to put these here. I want to make sure that there's no internal shorts before I put them in there. Last thing you want to do is wire this all up and have to pull everything out because you have a bad battery. So I always check everything I possibly can. I'm not talking about checking switches and stuff like that. I'm just checking power to batteries, power to these switches, make sure I'm getting power out, and so on and so forth as I go through the whole wiring process. So you've seen in the first one we had 13 volts, right? So put the multimeter here. We now have both batteries hooked up the same way. So at that point, 13.6 volts on one battery. On the other battery, 13.6. So I didn't change the voltage of the battery. I would have changed the amperage of the battery. It's very hard to be able to test the amperage of a battery without an amperage tester. So this is testing at 28 amps. That means absolutely nothing when it comes to this because I don't have the proper equipment to test battery load tests on this. A battery load test would tell me what the actual capacity of the battery is and so on and so forth. We're going to run with this. I'm going to actually get these put in and get ready to wire these up in series. Find a good location for my switch, wherever it is, and then I'm going to run this true battery tester. This thing's very, very simple to do. It actually tells you where each one is. This is the auxiliary battery, so I would wire these into this side. This is the start battery on the vehicle. And then you have this. This is a negative terminal. This has to be added to a negative ground in the terminal. So the way I'm going to wire these up is I'm going to take the positive from here through this charge controller, from the charge controller to the battery of the vehicle. And then I'm going to take the second positive terminal, I'm going to run that to my aux beam and put the 60 amp breaker on right here. So this is going to be charge controller, this one's going to be that. But they're wired in series, so they will work in general. And then whenever you're doing this, it'll do whatever it does. Whenever the vehicle started, it'll actually pull voltage out of the vehicle after the battery's fully charged, and it'll split that to charge these batteries. So that now I have it. So this does not have a constant voltage going to it. This actually gets a voltage split. It drops the voltage going to the battery and then adds voltage to everything else. So this tiny little lead right here will go to my breaker right here. This will be mounted somewhere easily accessible. I'm probably going to put it on the front of the seat area so that it's somewhere where it can do it. This is a waterproof switch. I'm not worried about getting wet. and it has these little neoprene covers on it, so it should stay fairly safe in that area. But it's simple. If I draw over 60 amps or I have a short, it pops that breaker. Push it back in, you're good to go. So this will actually get mounted upside down over there. One lead goes in, the other one goes out to my aux beam, and now I have a 60 amp protected circuit very close to the battery. The closer to the battery you are, the better off you're going to be, because that leaves less issues. So from the battery to this, if this gets it, this is all protected, so it's able to short. So I'm going to do everything I can to put this in a safe location where there's no chafing, no possibility of it getting damaged. From here on is actually going to be protected by this. So now this will protect everything. So from here on is a protected switch. If I get a short in that system, it'll pop it. And that short is going to draw over 60 amps, and it makes it safe. That keeps us from burning this rig down. And that's exactly what I want. I want it to be as safe as possible. You're not talking about a regular 12 volt battery that you're putting in to your vehicle now. Now you tripled that. You have 3 times as much power in a vehicle as what it had originally. Eventually I'm going to switch over and put this in the stock battery location too. Maybe do a little bit bigger one, that way I have a little bit better cranking amps. But eventually it will go all lithium ion. The reason these things are so nice is because they weigh so little. It is a very small weight footprint versus a regular lead acid battery or a gel battery. These things are pretty good. The lithium ion battery has come a long way in the past couple of years, and this is where it's going to be. So I'm going to go to the point of getting these put in, getting these wired up, getting my switches wired up, and then I will come back to you guys in a little bit. So I got to get that switch installed. I got the batteries put in. I'm going to drill a couple holes, mount that thing up. It's going to go, I think right here, maybe like that, because I made him put it over a little bit, and I'll drill a hole right here to run the cables through, and right here to run the cables through, and then just mount it. I think that's a good location because it's accessible. I got to make sure it's accessible. And I'm driving, I'll put my foot back here, and I'll move this foot back. Yeah, maybe right there. Split the difference, and then this is actually going to run the aux beam setup and the original setup I had. I'm going to run both off of this battery cable setup here, and at that point I got a 60 amp protected circuit going from here up to there, and then I also got to run full cable from this here into whatever rocker switch I end up going with, which those are all right here. Let's see if I can find some a nice set of something for this. Try to get something better on that, because that's a mess. I hate it. I hated it when I did it, and I was trying to find something better. I just ended up not doing it. So I got a bunch of wiring in here that I'm trying to save. One, I got this relay here, and I got to figure out where it goes. I can't remember where I put that one. I got some other wiring here that I don't want to have to rip the front nose off to do. This is my windshield washer pump. This is the antenna for some stuff. I got other wires going into the box over here, over there, and then this is the cabling I was talking about earlier for my rock lights. If I can find somewhere to put that and where those are going to be out of the way, and I can tie them up nice, and I don't have to really deal with them, that'd be a better situation. This all here is amp wiring. This is power leads to the box here. That is my main shut-off power lead for all that. So yeah, like a cable like this I could probably use for the ground cable between the batteries, and it wouldn't be an issue. You just want common ground, and there's going to be a lot of stuff running off that ground, but I will use the opportunity to do that over there. And I may run a common negative post somewhere and run a heavier duty deal to that. But yeah, this is all amp wiring here, so that don't matter. That's some other stuff. I got, this is another one of my power cables. I got another power cable here. that I keep pulling. That's one of them, and then one's a ground. I had positive, negative ground going back, run through a switch, you flip the switch, and then it kicked the fuse box on and supply power to that. Alright, so give me a little update midway through all this. So I have all the old wiring removed. We got a nice box over here. Got a little cleaning down here so I can move around a little easier. I got most of the cabling run for the battery. Got the switch put in up there. I got this aux beam set back here, wired in. I got to get everything run to it. Got all of my accessories mounted. I actually got some wiring run here for the front light bar. On this side, it's actually the cables that run over to the battery on that side. I actually have a set of bus bars right here. Since these spots are no longer going to be used because the regular seat belts are out, they turned out pretty good for everything. And then inside here, I actually have a couple of these True Mod fused relays. So I only needed 4 of them. It didn't make sense to run a full fuse box for this. So 4 individual fused relays, and this is still pretty rough. I'm just getting everything run, and I gotta go back through and loom it all. But I have all 4 of these set up for the rockers that go in the center over there. There will be 4 rockers mounted there, 6 total, 2 of which one is going to be this USB voltmeter that reads the voltage of my auxiliary batteries, and the other one's going to be my winch. Everything as far as accessories, with the exclusion of the winch, will be run off of these 2 batteries over here. The Yamaha original battery and location will be right there. The only thing that's going to run to that is going to be cabling from there to the auxiliary batteries to keep them charged, and then the winch is actually going to run off of that because the winch is a high draw, and I already have a bunch on that stuff over there. So rather than kill that battery, I'd rather do that. So I came through and mounted the rear lights right here. I got my whips mounted. Started looking into some speaker configurations on this, trying to figure that out. I got a plan for them now. Light bars mounted. I took the pods off to deal with trying to get that all situated. I'll deal with that when it comes to it. And then I left a few things in here. This is some main wiring I'm gonna have to pull out. Everything that used to be in my glove box here, as far as wiring goes, that's all gone. The fuse box right there, gone. All this is gone. It's gonna be just regular glove box now. And hopefully it should eliminate it. The controller for the whips and the controller for the rock lights will actually be mounted underneath of the center, above the transmission, well, transfer case, above the transfer case, and transfer case transmission, yeah. It'll be mounted right there. This area right here is going to be the main area for all of my harness to go through. Like I said, I gotta run everything roughly, get it to a good spot, then come back through, wrap it all up and loom, and then run the cabling to where it has to go and finish it off. So it's a long process at this point, but it needs to be done. I want it done right, I want it done safely, and I want to not have any issues with this and be able to make it last and diagnosable at that point too. So everything I got is getting covered in this nice fabric loom tape. I got some other stuff down here. This is a little bit bulkier. This is more abrasion resistant, so I'll put it at the end of the main power wires and then go from there. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to working on this. I'll bring you guys back whenever I have another update. Alright, so made a good bit of progress. Went through this and got figured out. That's junk wire. I found out that These are my winch connectors. I gotta do something with them. Rock light here. Cleaned a lot of this up. I got my speaker wires here for my amp. That's garbage that can go out of there. You'll see all this right here. These are the pods up front. I've made some harness on it as far as that goes. The CB radio has its own harness. The LED halos has its own harness. I ran everything to where it gotta go so I can get ready to wire it. Ran all the wires to the center of the machine, and then got them all shown it out here, and getting ready to set it up so I can wire them in here. I know they're a little long, but I'd rather them be too long than too short. And then on this side, I did the same. For anything that goes off the switches over there, I got the wire set out here. This is just a power cable I gotta run for that. I got the whips wired in too. They're coming up through here. That's just hanging out right there. It's gonna get mounted there, but it's just hanging there for a second. Do all that. Also installed the brake light sensor here. Just a little tip on this: if you go to this and want to use your whips, if they have the capability of going to brake lights and turn signals, just keep in mind that you have to have the ground attached to the system as well. So I'm going to end up running this and possibly the turn signal up to my LED whips connection. I don't need this wire. This wire I'll probably cut back and heat shrink so it's not getting destroyed. And this is just temporary because I was doing some testing. This is all trash here. But I got this put in. I tested out the whips to make sure that the lights worked on it the right way. I had to figure out how to do it because there's no instruction manuals on it. Back here, I made a harness for the reverse lights right there. I have a harness that runs between the two of them. All Deutsch connected. And then it runs down like here. Yes, I understand that there's bare wires right here. This is not going to be the final form of everything. I will go back through and loom everything up with loom tape. This is just a run everything, get it cut to length, then come back and loom it. Make sure everything's good at that point. Only thing left I got to wire up right now is the heated seats and rock lights. From there, it's whatever I want to do. Rock lights will be going to that side, to the switch panel, or to the rocker switches, because I already have a rocker for them. And then the heated seats will be running. I gotta look at the heated seats. They're gonna be a little bit of a tricky one, because I should have a relay pulling off of them and go from there. But I may have to steal some more of those Pro Mod relay deals over there. But yeah, so just a little update on all that. I did test out the Switch Pro already. You'll see that I put the Switch Pro panel right here and mounted it. This is not a permanent mount. I'd literally just put some zip ties on it. It's not going to stay there like that. It will get permanently mounted, probably with hose clamps is my thought on that, because I have a very low tolerance on the roof. And then after I get all this done, I got to run speaker wires and get the speaker set up for the radio. So I'm going to continue at it, and then yeah, I'll be back with you with an update when I get through it. Alright, so after about 16 hours or so of wiring, probably more than that, I have finally got to this point. That's where I'm going to end this video off at. Sorry if it was lengthy. I'm going to try to cut out and edit as much as I can. So heated seats are right here on both sides. I had to mount them there because I want to keep the relay. I don't want to hardwire anything into it. When you get over here, this is my fuse block for, I don't even know where it is right now, right here. I don't have it connected up. I tested everything out, it's all working. Down here, you actually do this. You can see everything comes up there. Windshield wiper. Oh, I don't have that plugged in. It's my light bar. My rear lights come on. Rock lights come on. I can't remember which ones I have there. They work. I have them unplugged right now because I was moving the wiring around. Camera is not hooked up, but I do have the wiring right here for it. 60 skids in right here because I need access to all that. But I got all the wiring back here for all these. I got this all dealt with. This is a bit of a mess right now. I gotta go back there and clean that up. But I got all the wiring moved over to here. Everything wired in. From there, up here, I gotta run these sets of wires right here. This is my winch and 2 rock lights up front. This is my front light bar, front light pods. I got all my speaker wires right here. Now I gotta get ready to wire up next. So on and so forth there. Let me see if I can grab this wire for the pod and just put it on real quick so that we can see all this. So the pod, I'm looking at mounting right there. That's gonna be a better mount, but I just have it right now just zip tied up there. Alright, let's see. So this is all good. So you have, it's supposed to go like this, off on, turns everything on. That's my front pods. I can't remember exactly how that's my CD in the middle. This is going to be, should be my radio. I can't remember what I did that on. This right here is going to be heated seat here, off and on. Front pods. No answer on that. I got a few things that I just don't have hooked up right now that work fine. They go on here. I have all the labels that you put on this. I'm not gonna put labels on until I'm 100%. I have a little diagram and everything out here where I have everything done up. But yeah, I got all the wiring put in there, moved in there. This is the wiring harness right here, running to the front, all nice and tucked up. Still a few wires I gotta clean up, but it's a lot better than what it used to be. Here's my actual camera I haven't set up yet. One of those is for the camera. And on this side, still gotta clip all the zip ties off, but there's the wiring for that side. Like I said, everything is Deutsch connected. So I have weather tight connectors. I gotta finish taping that one because I had to rewire that. I messed up on that plug. These aren't aimed or anything, they're just kind of sitting on there right now just for demonstration purposes and ease of wiring it up. These are fully mounted. I gotta run the positive and negative for the brake light on this one. Once I do that, it'll be good. Gotta get the dome light put in there, and then I'll give you a little sneak peek on that one right there. That's gonna be the next video, is gonna be the stereo system. Trying to figure that one out. So at that point, got a lot of work went into this to get to where it is now. I spent a lot of time, not a ton of money honestly, because it's copper, it's a little expensive, but for wiring up a whole buggy like this, it wasn't that bad. I think I had like a couple $100 into it after the batteries. So not a big deal, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and like, share, subscribe, and keep an eye out for the next one. Is going to be the custom audio I'm putting in this thing right now. So hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good one.